Hey guys, so this is going to be a video on dreadlocks. Basically how to start them, the method that I use, upkeep, maintenance, all that stuff. I was actually recently contacted by a fan on my Facebook fan page. She wants to start dreads, and so she had a bunch of questions, and it just worked out because, you know, like in one of my last videos I had a braid here and I kind of didn't want it anymore, so hopefully you can see this. This is where the braid was. I combed it out and I just kind of parted it, right? Now I did this dread last night. Hopefully you can see that. I did this dread last night, started this one. And just so I can kind of get an idea on how to like do a video on it and how to explain how to do it, right? So I think I got it now, which is good. So, for starters, we want to figure out parting, like, section sizes and stuff. So when I started mine, I guess normally when you go to like a salon, like a professional, or if you just have a friend who professionally does it, they usually just kind of like sectioned it off already, and you get maybe like, I don't know, like this is how much hair that I had taken off. I don't know if you can see how much hair that is. You can see kind of where I mean, yeah, this is how much hair I got. So it's like that much, like, thickness. When I did mine, we just kind of grabbed some chunks of hair and just went for it. Just kind of went with my hair. When you go to a professional, they do section your hair, where it's all even. Now, all of my dreadlocks, they're all different sizes. They're all really thin or they're really thick. But if you did them all the same, like for example, this here would be about as thick as, let me see if I can find it, this one here. Now this one is totally matured, it's tightened, everything. So it'll be this thickness. So this is pretty much, and I've had thicker, but this is probably as thick as it'll get. And they do get thicker as they mature, and if you maintain them well, you know, they will get thicker. So if you want really little ones, like I've split a lot of mine in half, just because I wanted thinner. Some of them were just too thick, too big, and just know that like maybe in a year you can split them in half. And I'd actually split like 6 months after I got mine. I split, like, these are all ones that I'd split in half here. This would have been just one dreadlock. It was just too big. But I split them in half anyways. And it works out. But I kind of like that mine are all different sizes. I'm not really picky. I do love it when I see people's where they're all the same size and perfect like that. That's beautiful to me. But mine, I love how mine are different sizes because I can get different beads, different size beads, and everything to put in them. I'm not really picky, so it's really up to you and what you want. But this is probably a good chunk of hair. Yeah. So, what you'll need is I'm just going to show you, like, what I do, like, how I do my dread, like, how I did this dreadlock here. This is just my method, so, there's tons of different methods. This is mine. Backcombing. Sometimes I do the crochet hook. I'm kind of new at the crochet hook. I'm still kind of getting the hang of it. Kind of confuses me a little bit, but, yeah, anyways. You'll need this comb. If you want. You could also use one of these too, like either one of these. Like this is like I think it's a dog comb because it says fur pet's sake on it. But it's just this is good for if you want to get rid of dreads also, like comb them out. This is really good. But you can use either of these to back comb. I like this one a lot better. You'll need rubber bands, black rubber bands. I just got these on eBay. I just looked up like black small rubber bands because I like black because my hair is lighter. If you have like lighter hair, like blonde or light brown, you can get clear ones or white ones. You can get multicolored ones. Totally up to you. You'll also need beeswax. Now, this is just, there's so much controversy over beeswax, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, like my splitting my dreadlock in half video. But I only use this when I first start my dreads. You risk after, like, let's say you use it within the first 6 months to a year, by 6 months your dreadlocks should start to really lock up. You don't need the wax anymore. The wax is there for the beginning just to keep it holding together, which also helps with the fuzz and loose hairs and stuff. So that's a good maintenance tool. And so the first month that I had my dreadlocks, I used this stuff. Only for the first month. Now, some people only use them the first time they start their dreads and then they never use it again. What you risk with the wax is, let's say you've had your dreadlocks for a year and they're locked up, but you still use it. It locks in moisture, so you risk getting more mold and other things in your hair, and that's not good. Not good at all. So, and there's some people who don't use this at all, so it's your preference. I like to use it because it smells wonderful and it really helps with the baby dreadlocks. Okay, so let's get started. Is I have my chunk of hair, right? It's this much hair. So here's a better kind of understanding of how much hair, if you can see it. So this much hair. Now you can see how it's not even. Mine's not even at all. I don't care. That's just, it's your preference. I don't care if mine's not even. That's just me. So I twist it, basically, like so. And I'm going to use this comb, right? And I'm just going to you kind of back comb it as it's twisted. And you just keep going, back comb. Kind of where it's all a big fuzzy knot. Okay, now you can see it's getting fuzzy, and I just keep twisting it. As so, and back combing. And it does hurt, just so you know. I mean, it's like somebody pulling your hair. But I have a tough head, so I'm used to it. I mean, you don't want to like pull it, like where your hair is going to be pulled out. But I know when one of my friends, she did my dreadlocks, and we'd only do like a few at a time. Because, you know, it would hurt. And then her arms would get tired from doing this, you know, constantly. And now, I kind of like to do the wax. Now, this is the wax, okay? There's some, yeah, this is the wax. And then you only get like enough that, like just a thin layer, because it melts with the temperature of your hand. So you kind of just get a little bit on your hand. I mean, you can't even see it on my fingers. And you don't want to use a lot. You do not want to use too much. Only a little at a time. Because when you use a little, you can at least use more later. And now you take your palm. Now this is how you would maintain your dreads also. Like for loose hairs, just general maintenance, fuzz, and you know, the messy stage. This is maintenance. This is how I do maintenance on myself. It's just the palm rolling method. But you take your palm, and you can do counterclockwise or you do clockwise. I think I do counterclockwise. But then you take your hand, and you take your two fingers, and you have your dread in there, and you roll. And you'll feel it kind of lock up, but you do it as hard as you possibly can. You kind of use your whole upper body. And you just keep rolling. And you kind of, as you kind of move downward, right? So, do this again. You kind of slowly move down. And you can see it kind of, it's still really fuzzy. Okay, now I have a crochet hook. I'm still getting used to it. I did use it on the other one that I made, but I'm just so used to the backcombing method and just rolling. But this is helpful. Personally, I would recommend you looking just look up Crochet Hook dreadlocks or something on YouTube, because there's tons of videos on that, and I don't know if I'm gonna be very good or helpful at describing how to use it, just because I've watched like 30 of them, and everybody has like a different way, or a lot of them are the same, but it's, yeah. So, crochet hook, I guess you have the little hook that points down, and you have your thumb on this little flat thing, and you take your fingers like so, and you kind of pull it through. Like so. And you do feel it kind of tighten up after a while. And with thicker, more mature dreads, you probably want a smaller size. I think this one's like a 10, something like that. I got her on eBay. I get everything on eBay. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. I'm gonna back comb some more. Hopefully you can see how I'm doing this. And I hope this video is like the least bit helpful. I'm really bad at describing and giving tutorials on how to do things. Like, I am the worst person, I think. So if this video is at all helpful, please let me know. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. You basically are going to spend your time rolling and backcombing, and doing the crochet hook. After splitting a bunch in half, I kind of wish I didn't split some, because I have like some beads that I had in my hair, and now they won't fit in any of my dreads. So I'm kind of hoping with the amount of hair that I did choose to do these dreads in, that they'll be thick enough so I can put my bead back in. It was actually skull bead, and I collect skulls and skeletons. So it saddens me that I can't fit it in here anymore. But yeah. So you kind of get the idea. It's probably going to take you a good, I don't know, 10-15 minutes per dread, and to get it tighter, you know. And it takes patience. Now, okay, so you get the idea, right? If I'm probably going to work on this one some more, but you get the idea, and you're going to have to keep rolling and back combing, add a little bit of beeswax, maybe every other day. It just depends on how fuzzy and if it starts to get really loose, use a little bit, but don't use too much. Don't drench your hair in beeswax. Now this is what I did. I got these rubber bands, and I pretty much band up the root. And if you want like just the nub ends, where, see, I like tails. I like it when there's a little bit of hair down there, so they all kind of, you know, they look like this. If you know, like tails. Tails. But it's preference. If you just want to, I think I started out where there were no tails. But they naturally just started giving me tails. So, if you don't want tails, you can put a rubber band at the end, or you can just put a rubber band at the end anyway. I think you can do either. It really doesn't matter. Just your preference. Just to hold it together. Some people even put like beads all throughout here, you know, to hold it together. But it'll take time. It'll take time. That's about it. Okay, so I have a list here, and I just have to make sure that I cover everything. That when I did mine, we just took sections and went with just my hair. Now, before I had dreadlocks, I had this part here, and so we kind of just went with my part, and so I got dreadlocks, like, so I kind of have like this natural part still here, which I like, you know. And I still have bangs. You don't have to have bangs if you don't want bangs. I liked having bangs. but it's up to you. You can even like, I've even cut out some dreads or pulled out some hair to make more bangs. It's totally up to you. So here's a mini dread update. I actually attempted to dye these purple and they turned like maroon, which is totally cool. But I thought I'd do something fun, because I am going to dye them like all one color eventually. So I thought like summertime, add some color. But I just wanted to show you, here's my dreads. This is, you know, a year and a half, maybe it's a little over a year and a half. And they're this long. They probably could be longer if I didn't split some in half. And I did comb out a lot of the ends to make more tails. So this is what tails look like, right? Right? And this is basically the thickness. I have split a lot of my dreads in half, like I said before, just because I like this size. This size I feel like is a good size to me. Some of them are a little bit thicker. The thickest one I believe that I have, I already showed you, is probably this one. Mine were at one point all this thick. I don't know if you can see it. But it's just your personal preference. You can pretty much, I mean, you can just know that if they get really thick, you can split them in half. And I do have a video for that on how to do that, and I'll put the link. The link will be down there. But yeah, go on to Flickr. Go on to Flickr and go just look up Dreadlocks. I'm on a group called Dreaded Together. I'll put a link down to that group. But that's like where I found like the best dreadlock pictures, and like you get a lot of inspiration like of colors and styles and like how to do certain updos and everything. I love that group on Flickr, so you should check it out. I'll put a link. I hope this was helpful. I'm not sure. If it is, I'm really glad. If it's not, I'm sorry. But if you have any other questions about my dreadlocks, feel free to ask and I shall answer. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye!